March 15, 12:07 a.m. Theatre Neutral's lobby. So now we know who the Young Monster really was. And yet, there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved. Like how the weapons crossed country lines, for example. The two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entire procedures and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We'll need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. Now we can see what's on the tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from KG8 incident hidden from sight 10 years ago. I just know this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir. This man a coach on me. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like a footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. An apartment building? How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary files of the KG8 incident. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment. So this footage was shot at the entrance of the victim's own apartment building. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed. However, no one could find it. Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Miss Ernest Amano. I could see how this would have been a definitive piece, and why someone would want to hide it. But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case, sir. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went as far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it, which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader. Where? Wait, what was that? Huh? I'll bet you played just now. Please show it to me again. This car. This is something we cannot overlook. What's that, sir? The flag. Look here, Detective Gumshoe. This is the national flag of the Principality of Caldopia, and because it has the national flag on it, we know this can be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there?
Miss Van Kawa and Mr. Edgeworth. So you were here all this time?
Yeah. Ambassador Alba.
Thank you very much for continuing the investigation even at this time of night. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry.
This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careful you were.
You idiot caucus, you couldn't chase after a simple thief.
This guy's sus, bro.
Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that now?
Excuse me.
I heard you apprehended the thief that returned this embassy upside down. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's resiliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away, so I hope that you can understand how I feel.
But we must finish our investigation and solve the remaining issues.
Why don't we leave the rest of the Ablassian and Bobley's police?
Ambassador, we are so close, just a little more and...
Miss Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind. With my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anywhere, right?
That's true. However, as he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Albastian soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners to this land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Nah, he's sus, bro. Shifu, we found Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Shifu, this way. Oh my god, he's back. Yo. Agent Wang, you're back on the scene rather quickly. If I lay back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Edgeworth.
Agent Lang, why have you returned?
Because I have to solve this case, no matter what.
Well, I'm sorry to inform you. And don't take this the wrong way, I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of the Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... Under these circumstances, I wish to put the investigation on hold.
This guy's suspect.
After all, I believe your own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable.
Okay. At this point, our investigation really will come to a close. Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do.
Oh, I'm glad you understand how I feel.
No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. You... No? The... Killer? Do you really mean that, Agent Lang? Wolves don't lie. Then who is it? Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Kojin's murder. That was all Shina. Lang Zi says, the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was the Master Second's killer? I'll let you two who. It was you, Francisco von Karma. Nani? God, no. I was the killer? Hey, wait, but that's impossible. Yeah. Although that whip is actually quite... Yeah! Hold your tongue in that ludicrous remark you were about to make. Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. Doesn't appear to be joking. Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Alabas and Babao, did you not? And where's your evidence that I am the killer? I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Good. Now let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. I'll pack with you, keep a close eye on you. You can bet your $1 on that. As if I would have any reason to flee. But just as we're clear, your logic had better be sound. because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. He seems rather upset, not that I blame him. I expect that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you keep that nose of yours stuck in the air like that. Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part, so that I may clean up my superior's mess. I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's a peanut gallery.
Oh, in that case, I want to join too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabas yet.
You let Kay in, then you gotta let me in too, pal. I can't sit around here and do nothing when Mr. Karma's in trouble.
Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and ready to go. As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. Sounds like this is gonna be real interesting. Bastard Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride.
Very well. But I'd like you to keep in that mind that this will be your last chance.
I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now, let's go. Yeah, Alba's the killer, for sure. He's sus. March 15. Okay, now let's go. Let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Cochin's body was found over in the secretarial's office in Bilbao. The weapon that took his life was one of the Alba's ornamental knives, and then the body of the Master Second, Mr. Casino, was found here in the Albasian ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was the primitive statue, and that this is actually Bilbao's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it, says, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled it off.
Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying?
Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted an MIL, and you wanted any evidence you could find. So, while people were distracted by the Yada Garage's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when that's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief, who took advantage of the confusion from the fire. Take a look at my organizer. Oh god, we have way too much evidence.
Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons?
Don't worry, I'll plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies as well. With that kind of brain, you could have easily taken... Hey now! Oh damn, you catch that? Look sis, I thought I already told you. I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Shinna certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring... Could it not be deeper than any of us can imagine?
Yeah. Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already.
Franziska, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Albasian side of our case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it.
What?
But don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence. That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypnosis? Hypothesis, I mean, not hypnosis. Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well. Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of the Master Second.
You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. You can't figure out how the murder of the Master Second is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation.
As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk with this vent fight rope and see what I can do.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started.
Yes, let's... Oh crap, already?
One of Alabas's knives was used in the battle to murder Mr. Cochin. And the murder weapon in the killing of the Master Seconds is Babel's primitive statue. However, these two objects were unable to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crime was you.
Well, as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisca still remains a suspect.
You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across a country line? I've worked through every possibility. There's only one that's possible. Your boss.
Agent Lang, what I want from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself.
What are you talking about?
By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we'll become blind to the truth. Don't tell me that Lang Z never said anything to that effect.
You prosecutor. Who do you think you are speaking about Lang Z's proverbs like that?
I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you will need to see the truth.
See my evidence.
The current of the snipe crossed over country lines.
Good, but that's not the only thing that did. We mustn't forget about the other weapon. The knife was the only one.
How did it get there? So you're saying that the primitive statue was also brought over by Francisca?
Like I told you before, that's the only way it makes sense.
And how exactly did you bring it over?
Haven't figured out that part yet.
That's not a weak statement considering how sure you are.
Maybe, but there's one thing I do know for sure.
Impenetrable. I could hardly think so.
You've seen the top of the wall between the two countries, right? Who in the world could cross over that?
Yeah, not even I could climb over the thing with all that barbed wire.
Only way into either embassy is through the doors taken from neutralists. So, the only way for the knife, the primitive statue, to traverse the two countries is through those security camera-equipped, well-guarded doors. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you.
Was Francisca really the only one who had traversed between the two countries?
According to the guards at both doors, she's the only one who got one to go back and forth. And insists there was an alibi when the other garages showed. And then, just before you guys found Mr. Cochin's body, she entered Babel. I think we can assume that's when she brought the knife into Babel. Well, how do you explain the primitive statue? I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves that the killer must have also traversed across the country lines. The only thing that crossed the border, the primitive statue and the knife. I should hardly think that those are the only two items, Agent Lang. Let me see. Not sure about this. Okay. How am I gonna do this? Okay.
Hmm.
Just before and after the crimes was the coach was killed at a different location. Oh my god. Anything to cross the border was the primitive extension of the knife. You should hardly think that those are the only two items hanging around. Two objects, no, it's three. The other statue. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. And underlying, those two items are not the only thing to cross the borders tonight. Oh. The Master Second was killed with the Bell's primitive statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alaba's primitive statue go? To a bell. Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies. I guess so, but you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items. Only that Sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Albex and Bell is her. Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Actually, there was definitely another person who paid a visit to both sides of the wall. Is that really so, Agent Lang? Well, now's the time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out, and the guard said along with the security camera's footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily. But suppose there was some other way, other than though the theater doors. What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I point it out, it would open up a whole new possibility, and why hesitate to bring us out? Since this entity exists and the possible world becomes a possibility. Looks like you got some clever idea in mind. I'll do, and I can show it to you through a simple piece of evidence. Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route. This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries. That's the eyeglasses. I know the line. I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo. That supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can't fly. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. Don't start claiming that Shinna somehow grew wings either. I won't dream of claiming that, and I won't allow you to take back what you said earlier. I'll say it again, it's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So, you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Ugh.
But how can I prove that most of the flew through the air in this photo? Wait, that's humanly impossible. Eureka! Very well. You will have your explanation.
It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside a head of yours.
Let's hear it.
The face hidden within this photo's blurry trail shadow is...
Wait. Oh my god, it's the statue. They drew the statue. Naturally, the shadow of the star-smuggled object, the primitive statue replica.
You can't be serious.
The illegal wrestler rather Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Shina, was inside the bar. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air.
Mr. Prosecutor, you left that very crucial bit in your explanation.
I know I did.
She launched it through the air. Ha! And how exactly did she do that?
He is literally barking his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier?
Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Albert went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right?
So, just before the murder, Franziska was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I could pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Montcalm.
Oh, what are you up to now, pretty boy?
Earlier you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Montcalm had been in this room because Ambassador Alva had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe she has to be the killer.
Heh, I guess I did say something like that.
In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is.
Heh, do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth?
How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me that you suspect me too. I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were at this room at that point of time. Which is why I would like to hear about your movements in this room. Franziska, I feel that I still don't have enough information, which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. Alright, so what would you like me to talk about? I'd like you to please testify to your movements in this room until the murder occurred. Alright, let's try.
Alright, let's try this your way for a chance. For change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can say how. Faster than you can howl no.
As you wish. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Albacian embassy. After I saw the steel samurai off his way to watch the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alva to his office. Franziska, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. But now the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Franziska about her testimony in more detail. Rebuttal. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard you. I thought your duty was to find anything you could spot of smuggling ring. Yes, that was my job, but upon hearing that the Yatagarasu had sent a calling card to the embassy, Ambassador Alba called upon us to protect the embassy instead. That incident 7 years ago. Or have you forgotten what happened here back then? Anything related to that case we were involved in appears to be rather painful for her. It's not exactly one I can readily forgot myself. Looks like you remember the case after all. Of course I do. I inspected every location, every possible escape route, and every aspect of the police security detail. I did all that. Then after that... Okay. So you were at the theater as well? Yes, and I suppose you were also there as well, watching the stage show? Well, yes, Francisco was there. Well, after the show was over, and I saw the Steel Samurai off, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. When did you need to confirm the degree of preparation for even a speech? For security's sake, of course. What other reason could I have? No one knew that how the Yatagarasu would plan on getting in, right? I suppose you're right. And in the end, the Yatagarasu did choose to appear in the Rose Garden, even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow. Who would have thought that she could have used the shadow? Calm down, Francisca. She must still be nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself. Anyway, there has no one in the Rose Garden, and we were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter. At that time, the Master Second's body had yet to be found in this room, is that correct? That's right. Our Ambassador Alba was here. One who could hardly miss his rather large presence. A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying? Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you. Seriously. Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box in the window, still watering his plants. I can attest to that. I remember speaking with a lovely lady around that time here in my office. Alright then. Add that statement to your testimony, and let's hear some more detail. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, as was he? For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill? What do you mean by that? The entrance to this room is on his side. However, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you enter the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that not correct? I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. Unfortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and since I did, he turned around and greeted me with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right? I suppose. After his greeting, he spent a little time taking about his flowers. He was obtaining them herself and is still growing them with the utmost care, you know. Yes, the plants in this room, they are all like my children. The passion flowers in the window box and still, well, window still are glowing beautifully too. All four of them are in full bloom.
What's one, Karma? What did you just say right now?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Very well.
Sadly, there's only two of them. Francesca, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
Does appear that way.
I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your word, sis.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Karma like this?
Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna be taken away, sir. Ugh.
All I've done is state what I saw. I have made not a single mistake in my testimony, and for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles?
At the very least, there is some contradiction in this enigmatic cause. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove?
I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy.
They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care, so I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth.
I understand.
Well...
This patch of soil looks like it's had something removed from it.
Huh. What are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you climb up all of a sudden? I'm still here, waiting for an explanation, you know.
Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are the best appreciated in silence. Looks like two things were pulled out of this flower box. This patch of soil again, it's the same thing. Wait a second. This flooring can is a rather robust sign. Mr. Edgeworth, why don't you tell us stuff we can really clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time talking about that, Mr. Van Karm is going to be arrested. I'd better examine something else. Examine the flower. The name of these flowers, I believe, are called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are also a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, looks like there are only two of here for me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little eyes failed you.
Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me already. I suppose I will need to use some evidence for him to shut up, won't I? I believe I have just the pieces of evidence you require.
Oh, do you? Do you? Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plot, but I highly doubt I'll last until the end.
You'll howl like a wolf, Agent Lang, but we'll see if you have any point to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The trail of the passion flowers revealed can be seen on this piece of evidence. Shinna, who was supposedly in Babel the entire time, held these hair sticks on her. What look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are, in actually, support sticks for the passion flowers.
And so what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight.
Ugh.
Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally an alabaster. But somehow they wound up in Shina's hands, who was in the bar the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knives and statue.
Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in my bag.
Maybe these support sticks find their way to the bell and why. There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Haha, so that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape.
Just another stick, isn't it?
So it is. Just the shape of a support stick is just as important. But when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. The port stick. What the? Interesting, it's not it. I don't know. What? This one? Oh, actually. Wait. Don't tell me they're actually conveying that ridiculous message. Alright. Let me save the game real quick. Oh my god, I can't. Oh no. I'll have to fucking take the risk, don't I? Take a risk, it's gotta be crossbow. Not a crossbow.
That's a crossbow. Wait, not really suggesting.
I am. These hair sticks are rather plant sticks. principal sticks. They make a perfect arrows.
Yeah.
I've done it. I found a common thread that connects the two offices, but this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these arrows, these sticks as arrows? Well, our boy Alba in it. There must be a common thread that ties all these things together.
Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. Do you realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all.
Borderless crossing.
So the bound statue was draped into the Yakuza's clothes and shot over here. Even if you find arrows from this side, you won't go far with the statue tied to it. Don't think I need to tell you that the primitive statues didn't sprout wings. You're really Sakura, aren't you?
I'm guessing it transported the knife in it. The primitive statues didn't sprout wings. Of course they don't. Glad you understand. I feel much better.
Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you weren't aware of the crucial fact.
It's only crucial because you're under the belief that the wings are unnecessary for this equation.
What? You need to free your mind.
You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wing. A primitive statue flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, I'll explain this mystery phenomenon to you. I don't even get Edgeworth. Right. But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo.
And what an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by a freelance photo journalist, right, Anna? Huh?
Pintuan mamaya buksan.
So I hear.
And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirited giant creatures in tabloids.
Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court.
Yep.
Forgot her name, but yeah, that girl.
With the afro.
But there has been times for those photos to turn out to be telling the truth. If you had ever been stood in the court of law, you could have known it. That's probably plausible.
You really believe this stuff, Dons? You're spewing right now. The courtroom certainly is a strange place, if what you say is true. But there really is something odd about the photo, no matter how you look at it.
Well, if you're in agreement with the arrow by itself when reaching the other side, correct?
But just arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing.
No, that's not necessarily true.
What?
What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions, it's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with a crossbow was not the statue, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. Something the crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. The knife can't be used to move the statues. So what could have fitted into these arrows? These could have been used as arrows, so what could have been? Oh my god. Used to transport wire. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbow launch? Oh my god. I gotta save the game. No, I'm saving the game. Alright, we're back. Oh my god, it's the freaking word. Oh no. Oh my god, it's actually true. Finally, we have reached this point of our discussion, which I present to you that which was carried by the crossbow from the arrow for the crossbow. I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you were trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot at Mr. Kilchin's office. On the way to the 5th floor of the Compassion's embassy. Then to the 3rd floor of the Bumblebee's embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alva's primitive statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then, what about Bell's primitive statue? The dark shadow in his phone is clearly flying away from a bow. Going the opposite way is the gravity to the 3rd floor, the Babylon's embassy, to the 5th floor, the Babylon's embassy. How do you explain that? I think I finally see how the gas behind this whole track works. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this track, I wonder if it perhaps could have been able to envision how it works in your head. Motion. What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle the Bell's primitive statue. Swinging rotary bungee. How about Bell's statue got to? Bungee? A bit of bungee action was employed. Bungee action. Okay, that was wrong. Alright, yeah. Wrong. Right, we're back. Swing? Nah. And blame was done via rotary motion. The two statues were transported simultaneously. Simultaneously? Get real. The statues would collide somewhere along the way. Will I ever say that there was only one line that went between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of the wire tied to it, a circle belt can be formed.
Like Z says, the only objective called success would is beyond reasonably. Taking into account the tension between the difference between the two wires, the top would go sag too, but to the point where the statues could glide anyway.
And you're lying. As you know, the primitive statue is one of a kind national treasure. And the fact that the Bow statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that the very idea is very possible.
Like Z says.
Here's what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirators set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down by only one arrow, and the two of them caught the steps proceeding to transport the statue. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to the bow where it would be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock QED.
Ugh.
This proves it right, Agent Lang, that I'm not the killer.
Yeah, yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
The proof is in the pudding, as it were.
Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove what happened? Is this really what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a set of song back home with me as a souvenir.
I'll take that as long as there is no proof my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I had laid out is not merely a hypothesis, but there is one more piece of evidence.
One more. This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see, Mr. Prosecutor.
The thing that made it possible to create a circle belt out of a legged wire. I believe that it is right here in this very room. Now then, I believe this is what made the circle belt transportation method possible. How? Ridiculous. That's the only logical thing, you know.
Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again. Last piece of the trick are two pulleys. Precisely, the ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for left to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. You're crazy, prosecutor. You are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. Bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hot shot who set up this real-life stage show is, don't you?
The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who has full knowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan above the Alabama and Bablu's offices, and that the passion flowers upon stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case.
Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food.
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do? A single point of a finger here in this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop this forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now but to rush in. There's a piece of evidence that will point us to who is the mysterious mastermind. Definitely Alba and a top helmets get front in. Save. Alright, we're back. Except I need this. Oh. The smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked as if were the flower box of this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had time to grow so big. In this one comma, I didn't even notice the arrows. that she visited this room today. On top of all this, a private culprit knew that both of us had ceiling fans tell us that the person has very detailed information of the embassy's layout. So, as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus, it can only be you, Quackus Alba.
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm certain of what I am saying. I am sure that he is the culprit.
Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would it need to use a trick like that?
I understand you need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd.
Just one thing, huh?
One single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence.
Saving again. Guess we gotta just risk it, boys. See one of these statues. Well, risk it.
I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go to the trouble of swapping a real product statue for a fake, that's a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primidex himself?
See, Ambassador, we'd be examining that statue now without your permission.
Huh? With a soldier on like blood, there's an aura of well and bigger on King Primidex. It looks so cool standing like that was just a salt stick in the ground in front of him. Maybe we should try and come up with some very cool pose with a shuriken or something. I'm just beginning to think that I'm really good. It was her who was speaking.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, there isn't anything particularly odd about the sword, right?
No, not really. I suppose we should examine a different area of the statue now. The fingerprint.
The shield.
A shield, huh? There's also something unusual about it.
But it's supposed to be me that the guy's protecting something.
I don't think it's supposed to be held right before meeting.
In that case, then, what are we wasting time for? Let's look for some other area. It's only natural to look for the head, isn't it? This guy kind of looks like a steel samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look like that they picked up to be the Goldwell ambassador.
I suppose that's possible. Push out this area. On the base of his neck, it looks like a gap.
Hey, you're right. Maybe it's going to be some kind of secret.
Perhaps it's possible to open a statue from this gap of its construction. What?
Hurry up and open it, Miles.
Alright, here it goes.
Wow, it really did open.
Hey, what's this thing that fell out? Hey, what's this thing that
Fell out.
I'm leaving more for an examination of it. I say, wow, it's required.
How's that? What in the...
This is...
Hey, is this what I think it is? It's
blade for making counterfeit bills. Somehow it appears that it belongs at the place of this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates. And the reason why the optical was smuggled into this almas to begin with. And my statue was only being handled by the ambassador or sacrifice. Now, the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide the contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Shina, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into the mask the second. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue to the mask second, and then in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Oh, Ambassador Alba.
You're the leader of the smuggling ring. My country's a mess, and it's all because of you.
You're the one who killed the master second. Answer us.
I never thought that you would figure things up to this level.
This is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Coaching.
Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who will try to pass the guilt to the dead man. There's one thing I'm sure of. It's that you're the real ringleader, Quarkus Alba.
It's not good to speak with such objectively, you know, Agent Lang.
Subjectivity. My conclusion is anything but. Is it the investigation result of logic investigation?
Logic investigation only a second ago. You were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think you can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you?
Looks like you still don't get it. Why I came back.
Because, excuse me?
You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs to your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you for all of that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
You did.
I knew that this whole incident had been mistakenly planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seems the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take a look around.
So that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisco of the murder. Using Francisco as the bait, you were able to get us entry and investigate rights.
Yeah, if we haven't done that, the double ambassador would have given okay to poke around.
So that's what all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using this bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth. Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you.
You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor. But somehow, if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic.
In the evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor, that's just how it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right?
I don't know about all that, but one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see the old man can get suit coming for him.
You're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you?
Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push on the guilt of the sis, but unfortunately, you misjudged me.
Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. We need my lowest evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what it necessary to prove that I am head of a smuggling ring.
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of a smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes are worth with dignity.
Guys, this thing is long, man. Dignity. That is nothing more than a full instancing display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, I should try to first. I would like to first see some first. And see this thing you call evidence. I tell you, I know nothing really. I know that they counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
You swore on your statue that vested in your country the authority to work for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you don't know anything.
It doesn't make sense. Why does it make sense?
Ano na?
Bakit ganito ang sakit?
Ha?
Bakit ganito ang sakit?
Ayun ang pananagot eh.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. The proof that Interpol has been after which points to this man as a ringleader. If we could somehow find that proof now, then we can see that the justice is finally served. Still nothing can use to break this case wide open. The trump card and videotape with those two items. We might be able to finally bring this man down, but the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret, and the tape was stolen by the detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, in particular the law can be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we want Commerce are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. The only way to bring something like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we fought at the time. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma, and I will follow the path of the Yeldical Russell. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in legality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor and supposed to follow? What choice is one I must make by my own hands here and now? We're using it. There's no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into its territory. For what reason were laws invented the answer to what I must now show? Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this.
Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life.
It's a director's card used by the leader of the ring to relay destruction to his subordinates.
Oh, is that what it is?
This card was sent to the real culprit to had KG8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manic Kuchan.
So why do you have such a card in your possession?
Because it was hand-delivered to me by a sudden great faith. Yeldical Russell.
Yeldical Russell gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card that contains directions for the ringleader?
I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I have was given.
What?
This contains security footage that was shot before the start of the KG incident.
The KG incident?
The card and the video, these two pieces of evidence, are what will seal your fate.
Very interesting, I must admit. I am very curious now. Very curious indeed of these case-deciding pieces of evidence you presented.
afraid the Yellow Colossal has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man who has let full reign for 10 long years to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring the fusion of valiant spirit that is given to me. Oh boy.
So what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me?
The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where real meaning behind Detective Van's run will be realized. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. What you see here, security footage just shot before the KG-8 incident occurred. This footage, we know that the car is a derivatives card from the smuggling ring. So the section proves that the card was used to rely on an order. I can't say it. Oh my god. It then seems that Putin is holding the card on his right hand.
I see.
The killer is
You're actually holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now?
But there's a very easy way for me to prove that they are, in fact, one of the same. All we have to do is simply look at this. Starboard blood, yes, this is your proof. Both of the orders on this car were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KGA incident, but a bit of DNA testing can really clearly verify that's fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car has passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. It's an official Cadopan government car. What? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify that footage. This area of the place looking like the smuggling in Cappadocia. I don't see it. Guys, I don't know. What the hell is this? I mean, he's sitting in a Cadopan car. The guy who killed KK, so this is the card, right? The shameless pocket and the directive's card in it. Tells us without a doubt this person in this card with that person. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera, and what it was so easily find out who was sitting in this car that day 10 years ago. Yes, well, I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. What the? You've done well, boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, it's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? How so? The Principality of Cadocia no longer exists, so naturally all records from the time period also no longer exist. Nah, not arrogance. What he really means is he already erased all traces of them. We are finished here, boy. The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. It's this, the badge. He's wearing it shining on his face right now. What the? Ambassador Alba. Yes, what is it? You are one of an army man that serves the Cadocia. And it was you who made any missions to participate in successes, correct?
quite a sudden backhanded praises, boy. Although to be sure, the brilliant metals in my brass were awarded to me during the era of Godopia. But now I'm the only one who owns this particular metal. In our case, the only person that could be who is sitting in this car is you. How do you figure that? By the metal captured here in this footage. It's certainly the same exact metal as the one on your chest. This is how it's going to be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I have chosen. You move me with the in this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking impossible, isn't it? For a lot of you to have come this far. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time. I might lose the game this time. You don't have another round, Mr. Ambassador. It's not a fact. Very well, I've decided to confess and admit my guilt.
You're going to confess?
I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Master Second's murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense. The Master Second attacked me, and I felt that my life was in danger. If I haven't done what I did, I may be the one who found dead instead of him. What a pathetic performance. I'm not giving you one.
Wow, you two are really know how to laugh at appropriate times.
If you wish to claim it was just justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if it's that what you require, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was self-defense. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. But the Master Second didn't have a secret weapon in his body. Hold on. It's nothing to get worked up over because I hit the weapon. You hit it? I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder even if it's in self-defense. And I can't let it become public since I am an ambassador. And it's the weapon you seek, my special bonsai-driven shears.
Oh, it's covered in blood.
He was struggling quite badly during our struggle. But this one grabbed the sneers that were sitting in my office and attacked. So, you see, it was an act of self-defense. DNA test.
If he's right, Mr. Edgeworth.
Since he has both a wound and a weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so. There you go.
No way.
Oh, which reminds me, I guess there's still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge of what's going on. Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under a bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you.
The murder of the Master Second was done in self-defense. In my trials, no one escapes his crime alive.
Perhaps no, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? What is that? That's what you mean. Such an alarm. That's right.
This embassy sits on what is effectively Alabastion soil. So any trial that is to be held in this will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I just submitted to will never be tried in your court.
Agent Wang, what is Interpol's stance on this?
Agents investigate. Agents investigate. That's our job. The judgment of people who confess to crime. That's the court's job. And I've already confessed to all my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective even if your country's soil. Even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts.
Not arrogant, that arrogance in your expression.
That's nothing like the face of someone who's ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me that you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. There's crimes you all speak of seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy of your organizations, but it's no big deal. Alabast has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you will accomplish is you will chase the backdrop of the game.
These 2 layers of protection and extraterritorial provides him. That's why he's one of those who cannot be brought to court.
As you see now, don't you? I live in a different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go fix your eviction papers.
So nothing we can do.
Oh my god, finally over.